Dude, we're starting to get traction too. If I would have kept doing it.
You would just roast people. It was awesome.
I know, it's fun.
You should let me do something.
Pro staffers. You know what I hate? Pro staffers.
It wasn't really the
You know what really grinds my gears?
It wasn't really the direction that I wanted to go with it.
That was awesome.
You got my glasses on.
I'm sure all these
I'm gonna
people
put my
love
red
it
ones
though.
on.
How many of you guys think that me and Cameron should go on more rants in these things?
Oh
and like,
gosh, please
People have been dreaming about that. That's all I hear.
Please don't. Please don't.
Marlon and Cameron rant.
Yep.
Oh, I got some good ones lately I could do, but you know what? I just love everybody and don't care anymore.
ELE.
Okay,
like
guys.
Jackie Moon says.
Thanks for tuning in. We got a couple. I'm going to be in here for just a little bit because we got a couple quick announcements to go through. A really cool little film feature that we wanted to show you guys.
Yeah.
And then once we get through all that stuff quickly, we're going to bring Blair in here. We're going to talk twitching.
Got a bunch of cool twitching stuff. Tis the season.
Yeah.
And of course, this week, what's it going to be?
Get your wrist ready.
80 degrees.
I
but
know.
There's plenty of fish around you guys to pick on.
But guys, do me a favor. Share this out there if you can. Get all your buddies, all your family, all your friends that want to learn about twitching. We're going to talk everything. We're going to talk jigs. We're going to talk rods. We're going to talk leaders. We're going to try to really just go over everything twitching and get you guys to be out there catching fish this season. Good.
Colors. We're going to talk about colors.
Oh, wow. All the colors.
So do me a favor. Share this out there if you can. Like the video. And then drop a comment below and let us know, have you ever caught a coho twitching a jig? Have you ever caught a coho or a salmon, a chinook, whatever. Have you ever caught a salmon twitching a jig?
I still had new comments, Clint.
Yeah.
No worries. Thank you.
What are you looking at? What's the matter?
Jordan's tapping in from Redmond, Oregon this week. Says PNW Camper. What's up? Going to the ocean. Says Brandon. Excited about this one. Want to learn how to twitch? Says Jimmy. Well, guess what? We're going to talk a bit about that. ADX Rocks. Grants Pass. No.
It's still not doing it, Clint, for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah, that's why I'm on it.
We're letting everyone tune in here just a minute. We're letting our production team figure out some production stuff.
We're trying to go live on Instagram as well, guys. So we're messing with some different things to go live on Instagram. We want to start streaming to Instagram, to Twitch, to TikTok. We want to start streaming
to the world.
Streaming to all the different platforms. So that's what we're trying to do here.
What was it called that we were just watching?
Twitch.
The streaming.
Oh, Instagram.
No, the MC whatever.
Weird
NPCs.
Yeah, but we're not going to do that.
NPCs.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Me and Cameron.
Every time.
We decided.
Don't care.
That's not us.
You can't pay me enough to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wish I had. I know Clint's doing something, but
No, you guys, sorry.
I know. It just kind of kills, and we want to talk to the people. We want to talk. That's what we're here for, is to talk to you guys. That's why we go live. Hello, Han. How's it going? Kirk Theme says nope.
Ooh, we got one. No salmon, but lots
Yes.
of trout twitching jigs.
Yes, been slamming them on the homemade jigs, says Carlos. Coos Bay, Oregon. Boys, what's up, David? Nice.
Thank you, Jared. Appreciate it, man.
Perfect time for a camera. You can hear one on the 30th, Todd. Don't worry. No salmons, but lots of trout on twitching
What's
jigs.
the 30th?
I wonder where
Is he
they are.
fishing with you or something?
Yeah, I wonder where they got the trout twitching jig stuff
I
from.
know. It's about that time of year again.
We might have some trout twitching jigs
Twat?
coming out soon.
Twat? What? What's a twat? I know what a trout is. I don't know what a twat is.
It's a different species.
It's a here we go.
It's
Yeah.
created
The two
by
trout.
Donald Duck.
And they only eat addicted. They only eat addicted twat.
Yes, exactly.
Twat.
It's got to be the
You caught
reckoning.
that? I couldn't say it. Twat twitching. Say that fast. Twat twitching.
New comments.
Twat twitching.
New comments.
I know. It's
New comments.
freaking annoying. Yeah.
He's trying to get Instagram live. I don't know why. I thought he had it figured out. This is why we tested.
Hit it again.
Ooh, lots of pinks on twitching jigs. Yes,
Got
a pink twitching jig will catch a pink. That is a
Twat, says Catfish Banjo.
twat.
The twat. Haven't been able to get out a lot because they closed my river. Ah, it sucks. It's all for the good, though. Just remember, you're sacrificing, and being a sportsman and not catching all those fish means that the fish are going to spawn more and they have all the habitat. There was a reason they closed that river. Just don't forget that.
Guys, comment below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Where's everyone tuning in from today? We're definitely going to get a prize pack going. I should have got some twitching jigs from the Addicted shop. I wonder if mine's
Cam's
still
got a
there.
bunch.
I think there's some in here.
Oh, there is.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we got some.
Oh, look.
God damn this light.
ooh, disco.
That one looks.
Let me see it.
That's good.
What's wrong with that thing?
Yeah, it's all good. We're going here.
Might need to have Mike grab some.
Yeah. We got some.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
we're gonna start out with a couple here. We're gonna start with a couple twitching. So if you want an opportunity to win these, do us a favor. Share it out there. Share the live feed. Share it to Facebook, friends, groups,
Concrete Washington.
wherever.
York, Salt Lake.
Like the video.
Kill.
Thumbs up the video, and then drop a comment below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Where's everyone tuning in from today?
Mackenzie River, down by the green, Redmond, pink and blue.
I'm
Put
gonna,
your fish unless your coho did. Okay.
I'm gonna
We
see
have
if
no
Mike's
group
down there
stock.
real quick and
Badass,
get us
right?
some more twitching jigs to give away.
I
Stand
bet
by.
that river's not closed.
Oh, you want to? Yeah, can you run down there?
saying.
Well,
Just tell them to
good
give us
point.
like, I don't know, 10 of them or something.
Woodland, nothing but twitching yet. Yeah, Jonathan, to be honest with you, that local creek, I mean, people are getting them. There's a lot of fish in there. Man, when that water's low and clear, it makes it tough. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. Kind of talked a little bit about conditions last week, too, when we had Scott Collin here talking the Wiggler
Because
program.
Brad Smith says lost a lot of twitching jigs.
Well,
Right,
Brad,
please up.
we appreciate your patronage. Hopefully
Yeah.
you're replacing them with addicted twitching jigs. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that, too, like, you know, kind of the technique and the strategy on maybe not losing as many. Yes. Going up to Florida this week. Can't wait to fish camp.
It seems like everywhere north of here. I mean, I still think, well, obviously, you know even better than I do because he spent more time later in the Big River than just about anybody, I'd say, as far as now. But I was just up in Alaska, and it seems like from there all the way down to anywhere north of here that's getting more rain, it's just a amoeba of fish. You know, I think we still
It's
have.
an amoeba.
It's an amoeba.
It's an amoeba. It's a massive fish.
It is. It's
Amoebas
crazy.
are small, though.
What is it? Amoeba?
An amoeba
Is that
is small.
nematode?
It's like super small.
Yeah.
I don't even know what an amoeba
It's
is.
microscopic.
I don't know. It's something Big Dave said.
Oh, you flicked that one right on Big Dave.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, I whatever.
I just say it's
Be
just
as
a
it may.
massive amount
It's an
of
amoeba.
fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does seem like everything has been pretty productive. And if you watch the emails, and I get all the emails from from the state for like the Puget Sound and stuff, it just seems like there's more stuff opening and extending than closing and getting shut down.
Yeah.
For the most part. I understand there's some places that are getting shut down. I get it. But it does seem like there's a lot of fish.
Yeah. It's exciting.
No, I'm kind of like, I'm in the bucket though that, like, I like rain, I like water.
Yeah, I'll
like,
go
if I'm
do
going to
that.
have a good day of twitching, like, I want cloudier conditions, higher
I'll just do it
conditions.
after I bring you
Not
in.
to say you
It'll be
can't get
fun.
them in gin clear water, but yeah, definitely it seems like the places that get the more rain, like,
Yeah.
I say let it flood.
Yeah,
Let it flood. I
exactly.
don't care. 10 inches of rain. See it.
Easy.
Easy. You'll be coming my way. Yeah. I love watching Jordan Little. Jordan's got a lot of talent on the camera, but I like all
Thank
of you
you,
guys.
Kendra.
Thank you, Kendra. They just don't go here much, so we have to travel some, but it's worth it. Awesome. I've lost so many twitching because she only has one arm, and we suck at fishing. Yeah, Christopher, why do you think that was funny? Bro?
No.
It wasn't that funny.
I think he's.
Keep trying. Gotta practice. It's like anything. You gotta practice to make it perfect, for sure. Have you tested your twitching rod on black rockfish and big lingcod? Corey, I have. I have thrown the twitching jigs for the black rocks and the lingcod, and they both approve. They both approve, especially the 1 ounceers. It gets down there
We
quick.
might be on Insta.
We might be on Insta.
Sweet.
Heck yeah. Yep. I really liked the last video you guys posted from where the name of the addicted came from. I battle the grip of addiction, and now
That's what it looks
fishing is my new favorite hobby
Just
to do.
You can see like half of
6/9/19 is my clean
You
date.
can't
Paul,
see camera at all, there's no
congratulations,
one
man.
talking.
Congratulations. What's that?
That's what it looks like.
On Instagram?
Yeah, you
Oh.
can see half of me and.
They
and
only
all
want
of
to see
Jordan.
Jordan anyway, so it works out fine. 9/17/11 here. Congratulations. That's pretty cool. Don't got damn good fish and chips. It was almost flooding the Snohomish County last week. Rivers are looking deep and green. Clint, I bet a bunch of cohos showed up there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if
Jordan
you're,
needs to do one more button.
hey, if you're just now joining in, guys, and you guys want an opportunity to win, we're going to give away a couple twitching jigs. Do us a huge favor. Share this feed out there. Share it out to family and friends. Text message to people. Let's get a bunch more people in here. And then drop a comment below and let us know where you're tuning in from. We're just going to randomly select someone from the comments. So the first winner will get chosen very soon. Very soon.
And for you guys that don't know that are not in it, the more you comment, the more chances you have to win.
Yep.
So yeah.
Huge shout out to Stevens Marine, guys. Stevens Marine is
much is
the
enough?
sponsor of Addicted Fishing. So thanks, shout out to those guys. We appreciate Stevens Marine.
Absolutely.
Get
I
'em
went in
up.
there and had him slam the old jet on. I'm ready. I'm ready for it to rain. And then, of course, I apologize to everybody in Northwest. I put the jet on my boat, and now we're getting 80-degree sun for the next 4 days.
Saw it
It's
coming.
my fault. I apologize, but one day it'll rain in Washington. Hopefully next week. Save it for next week.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
I didn't.
Shout-
I had
huge
no
shouts to
clue.
everybody.
I thought we were just in for it. I thought it was fall.
Yeah, no
And
kidding.
then Phil told me this afternoon. He's like, "Oh no, it's supposed to be 80 tomorrow." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
ew."
I'd rather have it be nice and warm this week for where I'm going, and then rain next week, though. I think it'll just
Yeah.
line everything
Yeah.
up perfectly. Yeah.
Well, you were over Elkhart and Idaho and got snowed on.
Yeah. Snowed on us 2 days. It was terrible.
That's wild. Were you prepared for it?
Yeah, but it still sucked. The elk don't talk in the snow. Like
They don't?
No. No, even so, I have a buddy that has the same tag that Nelson drew a couple years ago up, and first day there, sunny, super nice. Elk were just screaming everywhere. The next 2 days it rained. That elk never made a sound. Would not bugle. No, wouldn't do anything. As soon as it rained, the elk just shut off. Just weird. I don't know why they do that.
I think they'd be
They're
a
not
little
as
more-
frisky.
Yeah, not as frisky.
They like that nice weather.
They like the sun.
Like sun in those cheeks.
But it was still fun. It was still fun.
Already took
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, Fish USA discontinued the code because it's getting added to too many of those coupon sites with all these random people on the internet just using the code. It's getting added to like
Oh, we want them to be on our real
Coupon
stuff.
Saver
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Coop. So we're trying to figure out what to do there, guys. But right now, the code is discontinued. What they did was they made like a special sales promo page. So if you click on the link now, you can see all the different promos that they have at Fish USA. But we're going to come up with something there to remedy that. But right now, guys, I'm sorry. Fish USA code is discontinued until we can figure out how to get around those coupon websites that steal those codes and put them out to the world. We don't want the world to use them. We only want you guys to use them.
Fair.
So,
Very fair. Richard, I haven't yet because I threw it in the raft, and the raft has been deflated, but it'll probably get inflated here in a couple weeks. Get pumped back up and ready for action.
nice.
Yep. You
Clint,
guys
let's pick the
coming-
first winner.
You guys plan on coming to the Midwest anytime soon?
Ooh.
Might be. We just might be.
You ready?
Yep,
Do we
pick,
have any
pick 'em.
thoughts on that?
There it is. I
Amazon.
Amazon Jordan's bike.
something.
What's that mean?
I don't know. Unbutton one more button. Find out.
Exactly.
I don't think I think
Shoot us
my
an email
bike's
to
on.
orders@addicted.fishing. Make sure you include your name, your address. Let us know that you won the 2 twitching jigs, and we'll get them out to you. Appreciate everyone
No,
that
he
shares
just
this
got it.
thing
He
and
totally could have.
comments.
Chinook have been thicker this year. At least the ones I've been catching.
Thicker than a snicker.
Okay, let's get through let's rip through a couple announcements here really quick.
New comments.
So here we go. Some really, really exciting announcements, guys. So the first one, October 22nd is the fall drop. Mark your calendars, October 22nd. We have some badass stuff in this drop. There's a bunch of different custom plugs. There's maglibs, there's killer fish, there's custom.
Arguably some of my favorite apparel designs that I've
Yep.
seen. Yeah.
There's wigglers. There's some insane apparel designs. We brought all you hunting fans out there, all you people that like to hunt. We brought back a bunch of the addicted hunting designs for the fall. So there's a lot of stuff in this drop. A lot of limited items that are going to sell out in seconds. There's going to be people pissed off because they weren't able to get plugs. So mark your calendar, October 22nd, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, fall merch drop is announcement number 1. Number 2 is we finally planned some fall bashes, guys. So we got some fall bashes on the calendar. I'm going to try to find them here. I don't even know the dates.
I better get my phone and put them on my calendar too.
I did this earlier as
I'm like,
well.
oh, okay, I better get my phone.
So guys, October 18th is the first one. October 26th is the second one. And November 2nd is the third one. So October 18th, October 26th, and November 2nd. That's going to be our fall bash series. It kind of got pushed a little bit into November just because of hunting season and all the different things that we're all busy with this time of year. But super excited to do some bashes again, the 18th, the 26th, and the 2nd of
I'm
November.
excited as well. We haven't done one since
spring.
Yeah, was it at
Or summer.
Stevens
No,
Marine?
we did summer.
Yeah, we did the Stevens Marine Bash, but I like the fall ones a lot.
Yeah.
I think
18,
people is-
26.
Yep, 18th. to
everybody's always
26th
so
and
excited
November
about
2nd.
fishing. Everybody's ready to get out there and catch something. everybody's got stories and stuff. You know, it's a fun time of year to get together. with
Once we
everyone.
have the locations, guys, we're still trying to dial in exactly where we're going to go, but we're probably going to end up going somewhere north, you know, probably Sport Coast, somewhere in that zone, probably at Bob's. We always like to do them at Bob's. Huge supporter of those guys. And then we'll probably try to go some down south, whether it's like Fisherman's Tiger, or we might even try to go a little farther south. We haven't fully figured that out yet, but stay tuned. We'll get once we figure out the exact locations, we'll announce them, but those are the dates. So mark them on your calendars, guys. We'd love to have all you there. I think that's really it for like date announcements.
I love a good live while on the throne. Don't we all?
Nice.
We can all relate. We're all going, yeah.
Cameron, Ben says Cameron better limit early on the 18th.
I have him on the 18th, but that will not be a problem.
It doesn't matter, Ben. If you don't get your fish, it says what it is.
Money back.
I'm gonna say we're leaving at 11 o'clock anyways.
You only paid for a half day, bud.
No, we're eating at 11,
We're eating at 11. That's right.
because I'll be there.
What are you doing, dude? Oh, look at you. Producing.
Calendar.
On the 18th?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably right. I'm sure it's right.
seemed right.
Yeah.
Yes, Marco. Jordan did find an edible lake trout recipe for me. I ate it when we were fishing Lake Tahoe, and it was pretty delicious.
Oh, it's the buffalo?
You know how you make it taste good? You just soak it in Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah, put Frank's Red on it. Those fish they were much more
Yeah,
firm. They were smaller too.
they were
It was
different.
nice.
They were
I've
different.
eaten lake trout before and didn't taste like the ones where we caught them before.
Yeah.
That was about as bad as it gets.
Yeah. Oh, should I answer this? Patrick Gaffney's calling. Let's see what he says.
This should be funny.
Patrick, you're on the live feed. We got you on speaker. What's up?
Oh shoot. What's up, guys? I was just saying your audio's on the your audio is on the main stage there, so we can hear the podcast going on as you guys are recording it.
You're watching something late after we've already posted. We went live on Instagram as a little test.
Wait, what?
Oh, well, I just popped
Yeah.
up Facebook and it's just got a blank stage and I can hear the background conversation.
What
Like
the
there's
heck?
no video.
Clint?
Oh, someone's calling me too.
That was the
But I
Instagram.
can hear you guys talking.
That might have been the instant. So it might have gone.
Oh, yeah. It might have been the test, dude. We did it. So we're trying to figure out Instagram.
Yeah,
So-
we're producing.
But
this
thanks for
very
calling,
well.
dude. I appreciate it.
I can
Oh,
hear,
okay.
like, I don't, is Blair
Roast beef will work.
Yeah, Blair's in the background.
Yeah, I can hear him
Yep.
talking about like a game warden, some yellow ticket thing, waving around something.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so yeah, so that was the Instagram. We'll,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll call you
okay.
back.
Appreciate it, Patrick.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Same thing.
All right.
All right, dude.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we'll just
no.
get that.
He was letting me know they didn't
That's
have
an
any
old-
pastrami.
That's an old bike, so we'll just delete it.
Go new comments, Clint.
The new one should be up. You should be clicked on the new one now.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah, it
funny.
was on the Facebook.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Anyways, cool. All right, just want to let you guys know. Have fun.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Sorry, we knew it was hot mic. We didn't say anything bad, knowingly. So not everybody, you don't need to rush over.
There you
and
guys go.
listen to it.
There's Patrick Gaffney.
Live. We're
Come
on
live.
the clutch.
You don't think we're
Come on the
live? We're
clutch.
live.
That is Harbor Herring, Gaffney's Guide Service. Awesome supporter of Addicted. Love that guy. He's calling to let us know we got some issues. So we better figure it out.
Wait.
Yeah, I will. I'll delete it.
Go new comments there, Clint. No, why that's not just scrolling.
Yeah, why isn't that scrolling? It's weird. Text going on there, Clint.
Yeah, DL says, show
That's
us the
so
backpack behind you. That's the backpack that is on the storefront right now. That is our Addicted Fishing waterproof backpack. Completely waterproof, sealed, all that good stuff for the guys that are going on trips, bank fishing, anything like that. Check it out at addicted.fishing. Yes, sir.
It's pretty sweet. You can pretty much fit over a week's worth of clothes in it. And I kind of do the little trick where I put all my fishing tackle in the tote, because you get kind of hassled for flying with that stuff sometimes, and all your fishing gear. And then when you get there, you dump all your clothes out and you fill up the bag with your fishing gear.
Yeah.
Off you go.
And I wonder how many people are like watching that live thinking that that's the live.
It wasn't even live. It was just an old video.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
it just popped up
I
at the
deleted
right
it.
time.
I deleted it off Facebook. It was on Facebook, Clint. It was like a live feed, just like this.
Yeah, and it should have only gone to Instagram.
Yeah, whatever.
So what did...
As you guys can
Bravo,
see,
Clint.
we're a lot better at fishing than we are technology.
Yeah, we don't. But I'm okay
Did
with
he
that.
totally
You know what?
hot?
I
Did
am
he totally
so-
hot mic me
Oh,
about
I think
like
so.
the whole
Yeah, I
shindig?
think so. Yeah,
We didn't say anything that bad though.
it's what it is.
Only a couple people saw it, and I didn't even look at how many views
It
it had.
is, but like I said, like Marlon said, we're definitely better at fishing than doing this. But you know what? We're okay with that. Because you know where
At least we know our strong
I was going to
suits.
say, exactly. You know where we're wasting our time. New comments, Clint. Why is that not scrolling? Why is that not
It's because
scrolling
Clint's
down?
doing all sorts of stuff back there.
Oh, it's just really obnoxious.
No, it's Clint
today.
doing it.
It's because he doesn't have
I'm
the.
not blaming Clint this time.
Why?
It's because he
Scroll
doesn't
down.
have his.
I
He
usually
doesn't have the
blame
clicker
him.
on it. He doesn't have the clicker on it.
It's scrolled.
Oh, look, it's scrolling perfectly.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Like I said, I usually am blaming Clint, but
It's when the second you start doing stuff, dude.
ooh, that's a good one. Cam's knives. Yes, we are.
It's coming.
We are moving forward.
That's what
And
we're gonna
then-
call it
and
too.
We're never gonna say what
Legendary
the
knives.
deal.
Legendary
we're not gonna
sharpness.
Shut your mouth. We're not calling it. I mean,
The legend
outside
edition.
the context.
That's a pretty sick knife.
I was
though.
gonna say outside the context of in this room, like I would think that would be a cool name. No.
In the fall drop, guys, we actually have one of Cam's custom designed spinner coming out called Legend Status.
It was a good one. I burned up every single one.
Pretty much, if you use it, you instantly become a legend. Like Cameron Black.
guaranteed fish catch 20-pounder bright every time. No toolies. What else? Yeah. Anyways, it works. Yeah.
Oh, the T-Rex is on Craigslist. Let's buy it back. I want that
No
motor.
way.
Yeah. He texted me just the other day. I forgot to text him back. I was in Alaska.
Crazy.
Should we get the?
How much is it?
I don't know.
Dude, we should probably
It's
rebuy
worth
that
it.
thing.
That motor is pretty sweet.
Okay, guys.
Roll 90.
We got to get to talking twitching jigs here soon. So before we do, though,
Very squirrely
when
tonight.
a couple, I still haven't been, what, 2
It's been
years?
2 years. Two
A
solid
couple
years.
years ago, guys, we filmed a really, really cool special with the guys at Johnson Outdoors, Hummingbird, 𝗛𝗏𝗏, Cannon Downriggers. They flew out, and we filmed a really, really cool special. We're going to roll just a couple minutes of that special, not the full video, but we're going to just kind of show you guys a little bit of it. And then we got links in the description if you guys want to watch the full video. So excited to show you guys this. Clint, let's roll just a couple minutes
Just
of
a
it.
sneak peek.
A little sneak peek of it, and I hope you guys like it.
Oh, come on, baby. Yeah.
Being addicted to fishing is a mind state that an angler gets when they hit that point of interest that it's all they can think about.
It's just a passion for fish, for the outdoors, for being a part of something, you know, bigger than just, you know, fishing itself.
There got to be a point where all I could think about and all I could dream about all day long was being on the river and fishing.
I fish 200 plus days a year, you know, guiding, and I still go out and go fishing on my days off.
When I was creating this brand and trying to figure out what am I going to call it and how am I going to do this, you know, I chose the name Addicted because it was like where I came from and all these addictions that were around me, and I chose this healthy addiction, this thing that is really healthy and fun and exciting for you, and it doesn't kill you like a drug addiction does. You know, I grew up in a pretty rough scenario, in and out of foster care pretty much my whole life for as long back as I can remember. I lost my father to heroin addiction, I lost my mother to heroin addiction, I lost my brother to heroin addiction, and it's one of those things where I think the foster care system, it saved me, because if I didn't go into foster care, I was going right down that exact same road of addiction. And fishing really is what kind of filled that void for me. And so I never got into drugs or alcohol. Even in high school, you know, I just never got into any of that stuff because I always wanted to go fish.
Go ahead and cut it. Okay, guys, are we back, Clint?
Yeah, should be.
Okay, guys, so we just gave you just a little sneak peek of it. So we have a link in the description if you guys want to check out the full video. There's a blog article and there's a full video, and it gets more in depth. It talks more to me. It talks to Jordan, Cameron, Popoff. Kind of talks to all of us just about the Addicted Fishing story and our vision with the whole brand and why we've built it and why we've continued to do it all these years. More for kind of a greater cause and a greater purpose. So go watch the video. We'd love for you guys to see it. Huge shout out to our sponsors, Hummingbird, 𝗛𝗏𝗏, Cannon Downriggers. We love those guys. And excited for you guys to watch that video. Please, please go watch it. It's an important piece. Talks about the brand We want you guys to see.
And it's nicely shot. Like
Yeah.
it's very cinematic. Those guys are on point.
Did a really good job with it. So
Very good
Yep,
job.
there's a link. Clint's got the link right there down below in the description. But also if you click on in the YouTube description, if you just click the little arrow that comes down, you can actually click directly on the link and go watch it at some point. We'll be sharing it a bunch more. We also have an email going out tomorrow, so you guys can click on the email too. But yeah, hope you guys are excited. Time to talk twitching, huh?
I guess. Is that what we're here for?
I think
Or
so.
you guys
Oh,
wanna
look
head
what
out?
SS Outdoors says.
Where is he? Yeah, exactly. All right, let's let a real fisherman come in here. I'm out. See you guys later.
So
You're a hunter.
humble.
You're a hunter
So
this time of
humble.
year.
Exactly.
What a humble man.
Yeah, yeah.
What a humble pie.
When's the seasonings coming out? Do you have seasonings?
We are so yes.
We're working on him.
We're working on them.
And
It's
sauces.
happening. I'll make you a couple. I'll mix them up for you. Yeah, I got 2 different signature ones. You'll like them.
Is it White Claw, lemon, and like
No.
That worked
it's a
though. That was
seasoning.
like the one thing that I tried.
Weird.
I'm like, it actually like,
Weird.
it's
But no, I'll
actually
mix it.
good.
One's we're working on the name still, but one it's like a cheese base. It's Parmesan and nutritional yeast, and so it's like a garlic Parmesan seasoning basically, and then the other one's kind of a seasonal like that. Will allow us river sand, but Jordan style.
Ah,
Yeah.
river sand. River sand.
Yeah.
Put that on your. Put that on
I think we're gonna call it hippie cowboy.
hippie cow. Yeah. Blueberry tartar looked yummy. Where was blueberry tartar at?
I think I dipped. It was one of the last videos. We picked some blueberries, and I made an aioli with it, and then did fish and chips.
White claw fish tacos. Yes, it actually works as a.
I need to do it again. I literally haven't done it since the video, and it was
Yeah.
delicious. And it's
Lemon,
a
instead
trout.
of beer, lemon white claw beer batter.
The soda water, like the way it just like,
Evaporates.
yeah,
out.
it was almost like tempura,
Really?
like
Worked
tempura
really good.
shrimp in a way, but fish.
Gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. We got Blair Johnson in here from BGS Northwest. We're talking some twitching now. So if you guys have twitching questions, go ahead and fire them out there. I'm gonna write them down. As you guys, how many people? I mean, this is kind of a question for the Midwest guys, but I mean, like, has twitching really like caught on in the Midwest? Is that something that those guys are doing out there a lot, or even attempting to, or is it just
I
not
see them jigging a lot.
like jigging under a float?
No, like vertical.
Oh, jigging
They
straight
use
up and down.
walleye
like
blade
poles.
baits. I know it's a really big one for them, and then they use just like laser minnow style as well, right? Yeah.
Well,
Which
there
we
will
all
be some
know.
whiteboard tonight.
Yeah, we all know that 1 ounce twitcher.
Nope, it's too big. It's too big and too gaudy. Will never work in any situation ever. Don't ever try.
No.
That's what we've heard. That's what I've read on the old internets.
On the web.
Yeah, on the old internet. Yeah, I've heard that you don't want to ever do that because it's too big for a coho.
That's fine. They can think that.
All right, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to start talking just the basics of twitching. So first things first, it is pretty much you're going to take something, and we're going to just say something at this point in time. We're going to go through some of the hoochie jigs, of course our addicted twitching jigs, and some other things that you can twitch. But the act of twitching is casting something out and bringing it back, and you're honestly bass fishing. You're bass fishing with a 1/2 ounce jig. You're trying to entice a reaction. You're trying to entice a bite out of salmon, and it's a very active fishing. It's in your hands. You're trying to tempt a coho that's not going to feed on anything else the rest of its life to bite this flashy little shiny thing that I'm holding in my hands here. There's a million different ways to do it. It's one technique that guys that will literally just cast out and drift twitching jigs and just slowly move them up and down can catch them. Guys that cast out and actually do a real aggressive twitch can catch them. Guys that do like side twitching. There's a, it's kind of a, it's not a newer thing in the Pacific Northwest now. We can't say because it's been out for a lot of years. And I mean, it's definitely been mainstream for 10 years now. But the reality is, like a lot of things over the last few years, like bobber dogging, 360 flasher trolling and stuff, has really like changed the game and changed the landscape of fishing salmon in the Pacific Northwest. This works for cohos, this works for fall chinook, works for spring chinook, works for some steelhead as well too. So it's pretty cool. There is a lot of opportunity like going forward. But one thing that you do want to have, especially when it comes to twitching gear, is you want to have the right equipment, because this is one type of technique where you know, if you're gonna like throw a spinner, if you're gonna throw a float, like a 9-foot rod, 9.5-foot rod, 10.5 foot, we'll get you there for kind of like those cross techniques. But this, when it comes to twitching, you really want to have a very specific rod. You want to honestly like have a short bass rod-ish style. Like, I mean, we're gonna show you what we use, but it's definitely something that's really hard to go out and engage in this sport with something like with a 9.5 foot or a 10.5 foot rod.
Nearly impossible. You see the guys here, I've seen a bunch of comments going through here and say, no, I lose too much gear when I do it. And I'm guessing 100% there is something to do with your technique or the way you're trying to fish it, rod selection, weight of jig selection, even your line weight selection, that's making you lose the most jigs. Because if you're set up right, if you're set up correctly, it's all about sensitivity and about feel. And so if you're losing jigs, it's because you don't know when your stuff's getting to the bottom. So.
And a lot of times you want to be near the bottom, but not on the bottom. It kind of depends on the water clarity and where the fishing hit, where the fish are kind of holding at. And Todd asked the question, why so much hate at twitching on times? And I think let's just address it right now, because a lot of times people that don't understand twitching will view it as like a snagging technique or something where, and guys can use the technique just like they can use, you know, a corky and a 12-foot leader to catch fish probably inappropriately. But the reality is for those that are in the know and understand it and then don't exploit the technique, it can be extremely productive, and it's the funnest way to fish for salmon all year.
What about the ones that don't sweat it?
What do you mean they don't sweat it?
Sweat the technique.
What?
It's a song, never mind.
You got it. You got it.
No,
Is this something you'll have to
didn't.
tell me afterwards? Like,
No.
I think it's the same hate that 360's got
and bobber dogging.
when they
Just
first
say it.
come out.
Yeah.
It's a technique. All of a sudden, it's taken over, and you're gonna have guys that are stuck in their ways. I've caught them this way forever.
Yeah.
You know,
I can see that.
anytime there's change, it seems like it gets people don't receive it well.
Yep, caught plenty on a 9-foot rod, but it's a technique. But it is a technique for sure. Amazing feel. Right, Greg. You can use a 9-foot rod. You can use a 12-foot rod.
And
I'll
Absolutely can. But here's what I'm going to say.
At the end of the
But
day.
here's what I'm going to say. Like, there's a reason why, and I'm just going to I'm going to pull this correlation a lot, because there's a reason why I like guys that fish like 1/2 ounce and 3/4 ounce jigs in the bass world. And again, just grabbing another technology, grabbing another technique from the bass world, there's a reason why that those guys are not using 9-foot rods to cast and work a 1/2 ounce jig. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
And because you're going to have a lot of deadening in the rod, you're going to be moving a lot of action on the rod where it's not going to be putting it on the jig.
You're gonna miss a lot of
You're gonna miss a
fish.
lot of fish. Like, and those guys are getting paid a whole lot more than the salmon guys to go do what they do. Like, reality. So let's start with like kind of the nuts and bolts.
Cam, you're gonna like this comment.
Go ahead.
In some circles, any technique is considered snagging if you're not using a center pin.
Perspective is everything, right? There we go.
I love that. That's a good
Perspective
one.
is everything. So, real fast, Clint's warning. Brian Olson with the $5 cheap. Everyone been fishing spinners. After the live stream tomorrow, everyone will be twitching on the Snohomish. Well, potentially, but at the same time, if they just try it for a day and they don't master it, they'll be right back to throwing spinners. And then maybe, Brian, everybody that's fishing on that river, because we don't do river names here, and you just did it, so shame on you. But maybe somebody wants to do something a little different than what the other 25 guys are throwing downstream of them. And a lot of times, that pays dividends as well. So.
True.
And then Hannah Kaler says, Marlon, what's the snack tonight? He left.
Burgerville. That was the snack
But
tonight.
that was the burger.
Oh my
Burgerville.
God! If you guys live near Burgerville, you got to go get the Oktoberfest burger.
October, what is
Pretzel
it?
bun.
Oh, I love pretzel
You're
buns.
kidding me.
Oh my God! Next
Pretzel
level.
bun.
And cabbage on it.
Really?
That's what I said.
Interesting.
Anyways.
Trying to get a Burgerville sponsor?
Anyways, yeah, Burgerville. if
Why
you're
not? They're
listening,
local.
We'd love to be sponsored. Like every
love
fishing
local.
trip, we go to Burgerville. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Burgerville. Email orders
would be-
at
I mean, why not?
addicted.fishing.
Yeah, hey, I'd be fine.
They're doing great.
I'm a fan of Burgerville. Definitely a fan.
A
Okay.
couple times a week.
Move. We're talking twitching here. That was
I'm sorry. I've been bad today. I'm very squirrel.
very squirrel. That's
Very
all right.
squirrel
So
today.
let's talk like kind of the basic nuts and bolts rod, guys. There's lots of rods that will get it done. Like Greg was saying, he can go out there and rip his arm off with a 9-footer all he wants.
$50.
But the reality is, having a shorter bass rod, you'd be better served going to the bass aisle and the bass rods at your local fishing store for a rod that's specific to this technique than going to the salmon steelhead aisle. However, there are some very specific twitching rods out there, like this Okuma. This is the Guide Select Classic, the 761M. And if you guys remember correctly, last week when we were talking the wigglers, like this is a good little rod that you could throw some spinners with, and you could also throw wigglers. So you can do a couple cross techniques with the shorter rod.
Yep, I've chosen to become much more versatile with this rod, especially in like a guiding setting when you have people that are learning how to fish. But if you're on a tributary setting, which we're all kind of starting to transition towards, and the only reason you'd have this rod is if you're fishing a trip. A lot of the fun trips to fish for coho, a lot of the places most people will go, that rod, I mean, I only take a 9-foot rod that I would normally use for a spinner. That's what I put my bobber on, and I'll take a spinner and a twitching jig on these rods, and that's all I go with. I don't even take the big 10-foot or the 9.5-foot rods to the small rivers anymore because you can cast so much more effectively with these. I mean, it's all compact.
Well, you can cast, you can pitch, and then the big thing too is these have a little bit of a faster action. So the rod tip bends. I don't know if you guys can really kind of see that. Oh yeah, you can there. You guys can see the action. It's a very fast action on the rod. And the reason why they do that is so when you're sitting there bouncing this jig, and we'll talk a little bit more about technique in a minute, the rod's not flexing to the jig every time. So as you're moving this rod tip up, it's actually moving the jig, and you're not just moving that extra 2 feet, 2.5 feet of rod for no reason. And so you want something that's a little faster action, something in that 8 to 17, something in that 10 to 20. You want a little bit heavier because this is not we'll just say it's not a finesse technique.
No.
It's something that when you actually get a bite, you want to set the hook. You want to have a little bit of meat there to drive that hook home. And then like I said, also too, you don't want to be worn out trying to bounce a 10.5-foot rod by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Blair, what rods do you use?
Same.
761Ms.
Yep.
Now they do make this in the what's the
X
X rod?
SST. Oh, the X rod is a I don't know what the model code is, but the SST is a nice rod too.
I have some of the SSTs.
The
Yeah,
SST
the
twitching,
SSTs
and
are
they
nice.
actually say
The new ones are
twitching
nice.
on it because they're very specific to the technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, if you're not looking for something specific, anything that short action, 7 to 7.5 foot, maybe 8, but honestly, like 7.5 is about the longest that I would like to go, and you could even go shorter. Most of the twitching rods are spinning, just so that you can have the balance in your hand. The reel is down; it's in between your fingers, so when it's in your hand and you're working the jig, you have the balance. But just like the bass technique, I prefer to use a bait caster because I like clamping the drag when I set the hook.
Yep.
But you can use it. But for clients, for any of you guys that are fishing, new anglers, the spinning rod's way easy. You can take out the whole backlashing and flipping stuff right out of it.
And I feel
And
like
start
I get
fishing it.
more tired.
Yeah,
The
it's
bait
all,
caster.
that's
Yeah. Trying to keep the weight
your
of the
wrist.
reel on top of the rod the whole time while you're twitching, by the end of the day, it wears on you. So having the balance of where the reel's just underneath the rod makes it a lot easier.
Let the pole do it.
Let the pole do it.
Yeah.
My 7-foot tube, 8 to 17 bass worm rod works really well. That's right.
Bass rods will work.
That's right.
well.
My pole is the 6.6 ugly stick. Sure.
Heck
Why
yeah.
not? Something little shorter, and man, if you go and try to twitch an 8.5-foot rod and they go and twitch a 7-foot rod, you'll know it. Like it's
Night and day.
the other reason why too, whether people want to believe it or not, shorter rods are more sensitive. They, when you bounce that jig on the bottom or you get a bite, it basically has to transfer that feel of whatever happened through less material. And so that's another reason why people will like to use a little bit shorter rod. I enjoy the 6.6 bass rod, old 7-foot ugly stick, 6 to 15. Let me turn that off. It's a little loud. So rods.
And so I think that's going over to reel. I'm a big fan of the 40 series or the 4000 series reels, but not for this. I think the idea of when you're setting up a twitching rod is to be as light as possible. But that's what I mean. God, I'm probably the hardest person that anybody's ever seen on rods, and I don't know if I've maybe broken 2 of these ever guiding, and just running around. And I mean, I've had one in the back of the rack of the truck for a week now. So they are very, very tough rods. Plus, they come with a warranty. Yeah. But I like the lighter reels. I'm going to go with the 3000 or the 30 series reels for when I'm doing this, and always with the 30-pound Addicted Enforcer brand.
Yeah.
I'm kind of even like getting to the point where I'm going to go smaller. Starting to go with like 20.
You mean like this stuff right
Yeah,
here.
exactly. The 20-pound up to, I wouldn't go above 30-pound when you're lining up your reels in this.
If you can't catch a coho or like rip a coho out of like stumps and trees and stuff, we'll talk about kind of where they like to hang here in a little bit. But without 30-pound, usually that's kind of like the max that you're going to be able to like straight pull them and not blow up your rod.
Why do you want to go down?
Fishability, how it cuts through the current better.
Just get your jig getting down better.
Yep. You'll watch it. Like as you go up,
Line diameter.
it would almost be cool to do a little like a diorama video where like you just show in clear water the difference in how your line sits in the water with a certain current. You know, you're with a 20-pound, you're almost going to have a straight connection to your jig. With 30-pound, you're going to have a little bit of a belly with any like normal walking speed current. 40, 50, it's your jig's going to be about 5 feet deep, and your line's going to be up here. You know, it's just so much drag because that line is designed to float. You know, that we made it as our original design was a bobber line, and that's why we go with those 50, 60-pound line ratings for when we use it for a bobber line. But when you're wanting to get down and underneath the currents, we go with that smaller braid.
I can tell you, like from even using like lighter stuff and other fisheries and other techniques, line diameter is like so paramount, it's crazy. And there is a difference between 20 and 30. I got a giant bulk spool of our Addicted 20-pound green braid right here because this is what generally I'm going to put on all my twitching rods. But 30-pound is fine too. I think on this rod I actually have 30 because I still have the orange on there, which is a-okay because we're going to put bumpers on it. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, 20 to 30
in a bigger
pound.
river
and
especially.
you want braid.
Yeah,
like the big
100%.
thing. You want braid. You want to have that sensitivity, you want to have that feel, you want to have that diameter cut, and you want to have that strength because a lot of times you're fishing coho and sometimes you're fishing coho in pretty crappy spots.
I'll say this, and if you're catching a lot of fish, you're going to want a glove. That line will just cut right through you.
Oh,
You go to grab your line.
that
That 20-pound will go to the bone.
I run 10 to 15-pound braid for steel. That sensitivity and line control is insane. I agree.
10-pound, when you get too light, I find, especially with like a twitching technique, and a coho especially that are going to be barrel rolling and doing weird stuff when they're fighting, a 15, anything under like 20-pound just starts to get really knotty. It just knots up. More of it comes off your reel than you need to.
Yeah.
And you end up having bigger issues. You end up wasting a lot of your line just from naturally reeling back in and fishing.
Is a sensitive rod important? Very, because this is one technique. You're trying to detect the bite, and most of the time, those fish are grabbing the jig on the fall. So we're going to talk about that here in just a minute more
And
about like the techniques. So
you're
sensitive rod, short rod, braided line, absolute musts.
You're detecting more than just the bite too. You're detecting the bottom. You're detecting a piece of grass that you get on your jig.
When the leaves start falling. The leaves. Yeah.
I saw it today. They started spitting out of the trees.
Oh,
Like,
great.
no.
Is the bite very subtle when twitching? Can be.
The first time you ever get one, you're going to think you're stuck.
Yep. Go to twitch again, and then it's just on there. Then
Here, we got to
sometimes-
show them a little side cam view. For the people out there that don't think twitching works. Go side cam.
Oh, do you have like a video of you twitching?
Yeah, watch. It's pretty cool.
This is so epic.
Oh.
This is unbelievable.
Jig. Fish and jig meet. Fish eats jig.
Okay, no, let's go side cam. Okay,
Okay.
hold on. Wait, hit pause, wait.
This is why we need an iPhone. You just airdrop that to Clem.
Okay, hold on, don't do it.
Jig. Fish and jig meet. Fish eats jig.
So they do work, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
They work
Okay,
really
so
good.
when you cheat and you go to Alaska,
Yeah.
you can see them swimming there.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
all
so
in brackets.
and right, and you know what's good for that? Like that's for the one guy that's like, they don't eat those jigs, they just get snagged. Well, there you go. Like,
Oh, hold on, I got a better one for you then.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Hi everybody, I'm George.
Okay.
I want to make sure this is the right one.
Oh gosh, this is good.
Yeah.
2, 3,
No, that's the right one.
4.
No.
Oh, it took a few tries, huh?
No, we messed up the counting.
This is the coho salmon.
No, not the right one. That's it.
Is that the log that I know?
Yeah, that's where we have a bunch of videos from this log.
Started. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Look at them all. Oh my God. Yeah, you guys got to see this.
That's pretty
We're just like
silly.
having our own little thing.
We'll post this on the Instagram too, you guys. So.
This is the co-host Salmon Time Challenge. Start it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And there's like 6 on
There
his
was
tail.
like 3 of them that were coming for it.
There was
All
probably
right,
50
so
salmon.
that's the guy that says, "Oh, they don't eat them." Right there. I think that one swam like 8 feet and tried to wrestle it from his buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I
Yeah.
gotta go back up there bad now.
It was unbelievable. Best year I've ever seen.
Yeah. So for those guys that don't think that they're getting eaten, now those ones are obviously a little more aggressive. Sometimes they.
We get that here, though.
Oh, we do get that.
We
here.
get that. We will have that here
Absolutely.
this year too. You know, it's important. But the one clear thing you can see there, even though there was 50 fish there, you could maybe see 2 or 3 of them, and that water was dirty.
Oh,
Like plain and simple, the
dirty
water was dirty. And as long as coastal rivers are great for this because normally you have that tea-colored water, or you just have a dark bottom to the river to begin with. When we get some of our tailwater streams like we have around here, that's the places I'm usually going to stray away from using twitching jigs as much unless I'm in deep holes until we start getting some flow and some water release out of the dams. But the key thing of this, I think, even more than color, everything else, colors really do matter. But color of the water, I think that just matters most of all.
No, for sure. I mean, when you have a salmon that can see, let's say the water visibility is 10 feet. So he can see 10 feet each side. He can see 20 feet of water in front of him. And when something falls in front of him and he can watch it like come by, and we were talking about this with the wigglers too, when they can watch it come by, they can dissect it, be like, it's shiny, I see it, don't really want it. And they're going to let it go. And they're not going to really react to it. Sometimes they'll react to it if they're really fresh, but a lot of times those fish aren't as naive as some of the other ones that are just arriving there. So having it go by versus when it's only 2 foot of visibility and the fish can only see this far, and then all of a sudden this bright, flashy body thing is just falling right in front of them, and that's the first time they can see it. It's almost like they got to react to it, and they're going to instinctively react to it and not have time to think.
Yeah. Where you really fall in love with a twitching jig is the first time you start fishing in a spot and you cast and you close your bail and you already have a fish on.
Yep.
Then you'll start loving twitching jig fishing like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
'Cause that'll happen to you. It'll happen on a few days in your fishing career.
Brandon, Marlon was here earlier in the live feed. We're not muzzleloader hunting yet. Very soon. I was soon. It's kayak fishing yesterday and followed by the seals. Deer hunting. Deer muzzleloading. Hoochie was a sliding egg sinker on your line. We're going to talk about that.
Ooh, somebody's been fishing
about
with
that. Talked about that as well. That is very good. So one thing, guys, that we want to talk about too, when it comes to with the shorter rod, is the techniques. Like I don't know if you guys, it happened so fast, it didn't get bit. It wasn't much of a show of it, but you can see how when he casted out that jig, whoop, whoop, he had that nice kind of upward flick and fall, and that is extremely important because that fall is really what gets. No, those fish weren't that stale.
No.
But gets more stubborn.
The sea lice were carrying them upriver.
Yeah. Can you twitch in shallow water? Yes, Randy. You can fish in 6 inches of water. You can fish in 30 feet of water, which also makes it a very versatile technique as well. But having that jig fall is really important because a lot of people, when they go to twitching, basic twitching technique for me, when I'm telling guys, I'm going to try to stand here so people can kind of get the idea. You want to cast out to where you're going to be presenting your bait, and then your twitch every time is going to want to be between about maybe your knees and the top of your head. This to me is a twitch action. You don't want to be up really high, and you don't want to be kind of down low doing a little sideways action because I want that jig to come up and fall. So obviously, depending on where you're throwing your jig, depending on what the current's doing, you're going to get a little different feel. But let's just say this is pretty basic waters, if not slack water, and you're just trying to get the feel of it. You want to keep that rod tip kind of low, and what you're more or less focusing on is every time you drop that rod, you want to see slack line fall in the air. Because the second you lift that jig up and then you dump the rod down, you want that jig to free fall. Having that jig free fall is important for getting bites. And when you drop the rod tip fast and have that line slack up in the air, That's what's going to get them to strike. A lot of times when you pick it up, you know your jig is going to be falling. A lot of times when you pick it up, there could be a fish there. I would rather have clients like lift up slow and drop down fast than go fast and then drop the rod tip down slow or lift up fast, because you want that fall.
My motto is you want the jig to fall farther than it rises. And if that makes any sense, what you don't want to do is
Keeps it down.
Yeah, is have the jig make a consistent rise towards the surface. You don't want it to be gaining elevation the whole time. You want it to be coming at you at the same depth the whole way through, and then reel it back up to the boat or the bank. Whatever you're doing.
We're going to talk about. Well, I'm going to whiteboard that because I want people to see like what you're trying to accomplish versus what's probably happening if you're doing too much reeling and too much lifting.
Twitching on a tight line.
Twitching on a tight line, exactly. So if you keep your rod tip down low, you keep that twitching. The other thing you keep it low for, the other thing you keep it low for is that when you do get a bite, well, if the rod tip's in front of you, then I actually have time to come up high and actually get a hook into them. If your rod tips, if you're twitching from up here, I can't really do it in this room. If you're twitching from up here and you get bit or you feel something you want to set the hook, you can try to hook one like behind you. It don't work out so well. So keep learning to keep that rod tip kind of in front of you and low. Yes, Clint, you have something to say? Oh, okay, what's up?
I didn't want to interrupt you, but so when I do it a lot of times and I'm learning, right? So you guys understand it. So, but I feel like I'm not feeling the jig when I'm coming back up the second time. So is that because I'm not waiting enough in between, or I'm lifting too high?
You're not doing enough reeling.
I'm not doing enough reeling.
So common theory on twitching jigs is that every time you lift up, you want to be reeling about a half crank, because as you lift that jig up, it's going to be getting pulled towards you. You get the scope of the line. Even if you keep it out in front of you and you're letting it fall, it's still going to move towards you. So you always have to be taking up a little bit of line. And sometimes people will say, that it's like a half a crank a twitch, and sometimes people will say it's like a quarter crank a twitch, and sometimes people say it's a crank a twitch.
If you throw it upstream,
to me, I've never believed in any of that BS.
It depends on your cast, and if you throw it upstream and it's coming back down towards you, you might have a couple cranks. If you throw it straight out, then you might have a half crank like Cam was saying, and if you throw it downhill, then you might have no cranks.
You might not want to crank it at all.
Yeah.
What is
Squirrel.
You're gonna changes. It's a feel.
You're gonna have to go out there.
It's off a field.
I always say everybody has their own twitch too. You know.
Oh my gosh, they do, don't they?
They really do. Everybody has their own technique to it, and I'm not joking. We've done fishing competitions where Cameron and Marlon and I all twitch differently. We all have a different speed to our twitch, and there's.
Oh, Marlon catches them.
Marlon likes to kill things.
Yeah, Marlon. I will say though, Marlon does.
Really fast.
Marlon does twitch like higher, but I mean he is kind of like shorter to the ground, so he's got to go a little higher.
No, but like if you've watched.
But he does like his twitch is like 4 foot, but he does drop his rod and lets it fall. Big drop. Yeah. Mine is more of kind of like a schmedium drop.
Yeah.
Schmedium.
And I can say I reel very little. Like that's probably the one thing I try to keep that thing right on the bottom usually.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, usually no matter what model of jig I have or brand, the paint's going to be off by the end of the day for sure.
But if you can twitch hard like you're saying that Marlon twitches, but if he's hitting his jig 3 feet up into the twitch at the top of his twitch, then he's not ripping his jig 4 feet. It depends on how much slack.
Still right in the strike zone.
Yeah.
What you guys are trying to do.
It's all about controlling your slack, really.
Absolutely.
I just think if I reel more, I'm not in the zone then.
If you reel more, this is what I'm going to show you. Try to show you. So if you guys can see here, no, we're good on that. So I'm just going to try to demonstrate. Like if you cast, your angler's over here. Hold on. Here he is. Yeah, he's casting this way. What you're trying to achieve is something like this that stays like in the zone of the fish. A lot of times coho, like where they're sitting in a run, if they're moving up or if they're sitting behind a stump, they're kind of like fighting for that pecking order. They're all, Oh, Instagram, that's right.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. So they're all. So this is where you want your jig kind of working, and this is only about maybe like a 2-foot drop. Like I said, if it's marlin, it's going to be up here. But whatever you're doing, he's always trying to keep that jig down. If you do too much reeling or you let the current pull your line and you're not letting your jig fall, what ends up happening is after about the first 2 or 3 casts, your jig starts walking up here. Yep. And obviously it's going to pass the fish. And that's Blair said. He said twitching on a tight line. Like if you're never putting any slack into that line due to the current or due to you reeling too much, this is what's happening right away versus keeping your stuff down along the bottom. Now, the other component to this is too, it's not ideal. What's that? What'd you say?
Literally, everyone's calling me. They can't see it.
Oh, what do you mean you can't see it?
They can't see it. It's too far away.
You can see it on the screen. Oh, okay. Well, here we go. We'll try this again. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep that jig. This is the person casting out of the run. You get the idea. You're trying to keep it down here, twitching along, twitch and fall, twitch and fall, twitch and fall to the fish. Right? Too much line reeling, too much current, not keeping your jig down. You might hit the bottom at first, but then your jig's going to start walking up here, and then it's going to skate over the top of the fish. Now, what I was going to say before Marlon said no one can see it, because I want them to see it. You got to kind of be careful because this way does catch you more fish, but it also does cause you to lose more jigs. Is if you cast it down and you are fishing like downstream, heavy current, deeper water, any of those things that could possibly potentially bring that jig up off the bottom, you can twitch it a half a dozen times and then let it fall back down, contact the bottom again, and twitch up. But I will say this, the guys that are really good at twitching, a lot of times aren't ever letting their jig contact the bottom. Like once you kind of get good at it or good at understanding like what your jig is doing in the water column, fishing like, reasonable depths, maybe 6 to 12 feet, they're just going to let that jig like come down, and instead of making that first bottom contact, like they're going to be able,
how much water
they know, yeah, they get a feel for it, and they're just going to jig right here. And those are the guys that never lose jigs, or rarely use jigs.
When I make
jigs.
my first cast, I get a count.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let it hit the first time, just when I throw into a hole, and then from there on out, if I'm fishing that run on my second cast, then I know if it hit at 4,
yeah,
then I'll start at 3.5.
Yeah, so a guy hits the water here, 1, 2, 3, 4, it hits it, starts twitching, so you're just going to 3.5 and then starting your twitch from there.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Good idea. I can't count that high, so. But I hope you guys kind of.
I like mine to hit bottom because it's like disturbance,
If I know there's no, it depends where I'm at. If it's snaggy, I don't want it to be down there, then I'll keep it right above. But
okay, and Teddy, that's a good. So, Teddy says like Kratzer recommends to twitch away from the fish, and not into the fish, and I completely agree with that. What I'm trying to do is I'm showing you that whether those fish are like coming towards the jig or away from the jig, the fish are on the bottom, and sometimes guys' jigs are up here. So like. The technique.
Sometimes they'll jump up and they'll get it.
And sometimes they'll go up here and kill it, but not if the visibility is only in 2 feet and you're in 10 feet of water.
I was reeling mine in last night and had one chase it all the way to the boat, just burning it in as fast as I could reel it all the way down.
Right. Before anybody gets like kind of lost in like I said, we're trying to allude to that earlier, like you have to take a half crank in between each twitch. You have to take a full crank. You don't crank. Whatever you do, like it is every spot that I go twitching, I've caught them in 30 feet of water, casting dead ass upstream, bringing it down through them. I've caught them in 3 foot of water off to the side in slack water. I've caught them in 12 foot of water in a traditional kind of salmon run and flat while fish are moving in. Like you can catch them in lots of different areas, but if you think that you're only going to fish a jig one certain way and do it in all those areas, that's not going to happen.
And sometimes I find, especially if I'm fishing on fish that I know that are there and fish that have been fished for, I'll hit them from different angles. Even if I was on the bank, then I would start above them, and then I might drop it right on them. If I'm in the boat, I'm gonna throw it up above them, and maybe I'm gonna do slower twitches, but my jig's gonna go up 4 feet and fall right down into them, and then the next chance I'm gonna go above them and maybe pull it away from them, and then all of a sudden, you know, you could have been fishing for them for an hour, you get up above them, and then all of a sudden, boom, they go. And
Why do you think that is, though? Probably because the jig finally got in front of them.
Yeah.
I like to say if it gets more
That's
than
what I've seen so many times.
if it gets in,
It's
if
like,
it
it's the angle you approach them.
yeah.
And guys will
I
breeze
changed my
by in
angles
rafts.
so much with twitching.
Guys will breeze by him in rafts or whatever like that, and guys to take a quick cast at a spot. But no matter what they cast, and even if they dump their line, if they didn't, you know, if they wait a little bit and get one in like to where it falls in behind the tree or behind the stump they're laying at, I'm gonna try to kind of draw.
Especially on smaller rivers, I find that everybody comes down into the hole and fishes the coho from above them, and if they don't get them to go from above them or exactly even with them, then they leave. But sometimes if I get below them, throw it up above them and bring it down into them, all of a sudden you pick up another one or two before you leave.
Yeah, so what I'm going to try to show here, guys, is like understanding that like this guy like casting right at the oh, you got it?
This looks better.
Yeah. This guy like casts, so the water's flowing this direction, but a guy casting here and running his stuff off is going to be completely different than a guy casting here.
There we go. I went cross-eyed.
And a guy casting, yeah. The idea is that like the angle, like understanding like if you're on the bank or even if you're in a raft, like understanding like if you're able to cast here, like this current ripping off this log, this might allow that jig to fall. A guy casting at a different angle might be allowing that jig to fall a little better to get actually in front of the fish versus this guy here who's going to get just swept out. Bottom line is that is if you see fish rolling and you see fish that are holed up in an area and you see maybe some other guys that have caught them and you just walk up to the bank and only fish this cast like 3 times and leave and not try this cast or this cast, well, you're missing the boat. And even in a raft too, like one of my favorite things, you're good, Clint, thanks. One of my favorite things like about, let's just, we made Clint do 2 things at once. He doesn't do very good at that. One of my favorite things about our hummingbird, our Minn Kota spot locks in our Tarova up front on the front of our boats is that there's a jog feature on there, and I can hold in current and push an arrow to move my boat 5 feet one way, 5 feet the other, or 5 feet forward and 5 feet back. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you there's many, many times in fishing a run, fishing a spot where I have the boat set up and guys are casting in there, guys not really getting it, drop it back 10 feet, move it over, and just make a slight adjustment to where now my jigs are falling in there, and then go from not catching them to catching them, like immediately, just because I'm finally getting something in front of them.
I think the angle's really important.
Angle of the dangle is
Angle of the
extremely important.
Dangle.
But the weight goes into that. Like one of my things is if I think if you can get at least 2 to 3 jigs in front of a fish before it's swept away from that fish, you have 90% more probability of catching it.
You want to surprise them.
Exactly. Well, there gets to be a point with the irritation of a jig that pisses them off. Me and Cam filmed in Alaska a couple of years ago, and there was this one big buck that we were trying to get underwater footage of. I cast at him 3 or 4 times. He turned less interested each time I casted. I threw it into the tree, let about 10 feet of line out, and jigged it in front of his face 3 times, and he ate it on the camera. And it was because you could see it. You could like flared up his fins. He kind of got pissed, and the third one, he's like, "Oh, screw it," and he just had to hit it, you know. And that's a big thing with the angle. You know, like you showed that diagram. The top guy's got all the current in the belly in his line. That's why we use a 20-pound, 30-pound, and he only got 1 jig in front of him. The next guy maybe got 2. The third guy got in there, went 1, 2, 3, 4 before the current caught his stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that goes in, you know, the angle, but as well as the weight.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like you said, the weight of the jig. So you can combat that with adjusting the weights of your jigs. That's why we make it 1/2 ounce, a 3/4 ounce, and an ungodly 1 ounce.
Yep.
I see a lot of 3/4 ounces out there sold now where there wasn't. Like I think we were the first ones to bring out the 3/4 jig, but I can tell you, there's a lot of places, a lot of times, and honestly for beginning anglers too that are really trying to cast out and dissect
feel.
and feel.
Yeah.
The 3/4 ounce jig is
There's a lot of places where the 1 ounce excels.
I use 1 ounce almost more than anything anymore.
I always think of the story with Jason Handley,
Yeah.
where you guys, they were twitching a certain area and no one was catching anything, and before you know it, Jason's like, give me one of those 1 ounce.
Oh, I see it all the time. People think that the 1 ouncers are like too big, and I just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh.
You just gotta twitch faster, but that's it. The speed
Oh,
of it.
don't get me
just like
wrong,
you said,
it's a
reeling
pain.
the speed of it is what will turn those fish on. That's why it's effective. Fishing really heavy water, fishing fish that don't want to bite. You know, just having to bring it in that much quicker and having it go by them that much quicker.
Big, deep water.
Yeah.
Fishing big deep water, and that's what I was gonna say for my input on that, because like it seems like when the water gets even lower and even clearer, those fish will even drive deeper and even more to cover. And sometimes like it seems like it's kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, seems counterproductive that when the water gets lower and clearer, sometimes I find myself using bigger and bigger jigs just because you've got to get to them. I mean, then there's also times too where, like with the 1 ounce jig, and you and I have done this a bunch, is where you get in front of where fish are moving along the bank, you know, in fairly shallow water, and just use the weight of that 1 ounce, and just keep it jigging in one spot and just let a fish come to you because they're blowing through, the water's coming up, and you can just sit there and just do this, and all of a sudden, boom, oh, he's got it.
Yeah.
And that 1 ouncer is the only one that's really gonna be able to achieve that. But adjusting your weights, adjusting.
That was so
killer. Yeah, that was so stupid.
I think
It was killer because we weren't catching crap, and we started doing that nonsense, and it was just like, they are here, like they're everywhere. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that is true, and I will admit that the 1 ouncer gets the old elbow feeling great after one day of twitching, and that is the case.
You see that?
Oh, I just got George's old boat, the 2 ounce.
Somebody already
Oh
bought
shoot,
it.
they were talking about rehashing that. Yes sir, yes sir.
You probably saw the comment on here and then went,
100%. Well, that being said, I got 2 days open next week, guys. Make my life easier. I don't have to go through any emails.
yeah.
Okay, so
Just in case it's not true, but
I bet it's true. It's a killer little boat.
Hey, why are we whispering? I thought you were whispering maybe at us. I guess you were. That's really weird. Okay, well, so a little bit of technique, and then of course you guys, we have also very many videos on addicted fishing that you guys can check out and talk. But let's talk now, or check out
This guy
to see.
asked, how do I not snag them? And that's kind of a fishing by braille, as Cameron would say. If you snag one fish on the first cast, and then you snag 2 fish on the second cast, and then you snag 3 fish on the third cast, stop twitching.
We'll stop casting at them.
Yeah, stop twitching or pick different water. A lot of times when that's happening is when fish are bunched up, not biting, and the jig's just falling fast enough that they don't have time to get out of the way of it.
They don't
And
see it, they're all balled out.
Yep, exactly. So either move around, do something different to try to help that. But a lot of times what's happening is usually the conditions may not be in your favor, and it's not the right time to be twitching.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like if you find yourself snagging them, yeah, it's definitely like not.
It's so rare for me.
Right, I was gonna say, I
Snag
don't.
fish.
I mean, if you fish at some of the hatcheries and some of the balled up places,
every year you'll snag a couple fish.
you'll snag a couple fish, but it should be like you should
But
be
not a couple a
snagging.
day.
No,
Right.
no, I'm talking years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should be snagging like 1 fish out of like 40. Like that should be your ratio. And I mean, to be honest with you guys, I've also seen it many a times in clear water or in that situation where you're at, where you're watching the fish grab the jig, and they're stupid. Like they're stupid. They'll miss. They'll like go at it, miss, and they'll bump it and they'll hit it around. We've got some incredible underwater footage where the jig's jigging and the fish comes up and like goes like this at it 3 times and misses it, spins around. So like it does happen, and it's gonna happen whether you're purposely trying to do it or not. But it should be like a once in a great while situation, and if it's more than that, then maybe a little too heavy on the uplift.
I feel like if you're snagging them, then your jig is moving farther than mine at a greater rate, right? I'm swimming mine back to me, and yours is
instead of letting it fall down fast, you're ripping up fast.
yeah.
Instead of like kind of swimming it along.
there was one time when we were like in a back eddy, right? So it's like the current's going the other way, and that was happening. Is that technique then?
There could be fish stacked up. The other thing, couple things you can do there is just move off to the side, like try to get one to peel off, or try to just twitch above them. Don't let it fall into them.
Be like below them, casting the other like.
You just got to adjust.
You just got to know what way they're sitting. They're probably sitting nosed into the water.
Right, which is opposite the way you would normally.
Yes.
And I think that's what was happening. Yeah. So if we went below them and then we're casting.
Throwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make an adjustment. It shouldn't happen. It does happen, but I've also, even hover fishing eggs. I snagged a Chinook this year. Like it's like. It happens if you're fishing.
Well, that's how they feed. In general, one place where you fish a lot, I've always been surprised how many I get in the gill plate or under the chin or somewhere, and it's a huge river. I am not snagging fish. They're literally swimming by. They're not even schooled up, And I'm like, I'll do a technique where I throw 1 ouncer and I leave it out there for a long time, and a lot of the times I find foul hooking fish around the head area because they're slashing at it.
Yeah.
They're totally missing it.
Yeah.
The jig's falling fast, the water's dirty, and they're coming up and they see it, they can feel the disturbance, and they just smack it with their body like they're trying to kill it.
And I will say this too, like the game officer, like if he's watching you work a twitching jig, like there's a way that they can look at you and tell if you're purposely trying to snag versus this technique is
if you
not
only twitch
new.
once.
Wow!
There you go like this.
They do have a lot of discretion. Yeah, they do have a lot of discretion when it comes to that stuff, and so they're not just going to inadvert. Like if you're not intentionally snagging, they're going to let you do your thing. Like so, that's another thing I've seen people ask. Oh, how can you tell the difference? They know.
If you reel one in sideways, you should probably let it go.
Well, that too. Yeah, if you land an illegally caught fish, you should probably let it go.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see somebody. Where'd it go? Can you go up a little bit? Lighter jigs and lighter twitch. I have felt it bump them plenty of times. And as you fish more, you will be able to tell like when you're lining a fish versus the bite and kind of what you're feeling for too. I'm not going to try to explain it because sometimes like as the jig's falling, you'll feel this like, and that's like the line touching one of them and it's shooting off. Versus when you go to pick up and all of a sudden you just feel like you just kind of hooked a rubber band, just like, oh, what's that? So
or just a little resistance. A
yeah.
lot of times it's like, oh, you felt it,
Right, and then sometimes when you cast out and they hit it on the fall, like you expect it to hit the bottom and all of a sudden it just stops dead. You're like, oh, he's got it already. So like you'll get, as you get more familiar and in those situations, shouldn't be an issue. Should not be an issue.
What about colors?
Well, let's talk about different jigs. There was one other thing I wanted to mention before we got to the jigs. Somebody asked about bumper lengths too.
Yes,
back
that's
to the
what
line.
we skipped.
Yep, so bumper length.
Fishing's good enough, water's dirty, don't even worry about it. Just blacken out maybe the last bit of your line with a Sharpie. But I like to go about 6 feet of bumper. Or actually a lot of times if you know if you're learning how to twitch and you know the river that you're fishing pretty well, and you know you're not going to be fishing anything super duper deep over like 15 feet, I'll tie like a 15-foot bumper, and that can be a really good gauge for you on when you're getting too deep or when you're letting too much line out. When you know that if it hits the bottom, you got about a foot of your tippet sticking out. And so, either way, but if I'm fishing in a big river, I'm not going to be switching jigs a lot. About 6 feet seems to work pretty good.
Yep, that's what I do.
So just one big arm length.
15 pound, 12, 20?
I'd say 15 to 20, especially when you're going with a 20-pound braid. The 20-pound, any brand, the 20-pound doesn't marry with it very well. I find it doesn't make a very good knot.
Even 20-pound with 30-pound, I find that it'll break at my knot on my braid a lot more.
Yep.
So I like to go 30 with 15 or 30 with 17.
That's because you don't know the new knot.
The new knot?
No, it's because I figured out what line knot to use.
Oh. No, I don't like that. I'm a 15 fan most of the time. Sometimes I'll even bring it down to 12 if the water's like really, really clear, but 15 seems to get you guys done. Yeah.
What knot do you use to...
somebody asked... go ahead.
What knot do you use to connect your braid?
Figure 8 to uni. But get this basket on. Craig, don't even start. He's going to actually take a day off work.
Scroll back down.
Real question: if you only had one jig, 1/2 ounce, 3/4, or 1 ounce?
3/4.
In your guys' 3/4.
Yeah, 3/4. I'd say the 3/4 too.
In other jigs, I use half.
Running Wild Outdoors, thank you for the super chat. Semper Fi, you guys have helped me with my fishing and my PTSD. Badass, dude. Thanks for participating and letting us know, and keep watching. We appreciate you, man. Heck yeah. If fishing from Cove from shore worth it? I don't have a boat and have yet to catch one. Michael C. Sometimes fishing for Cove from shore can be better than fishing from the boat. Don't be afraid to do that. Just make sure you're fishing where it's legally open. Wait for rain, all that good stuff. Definitely can be good. Yep. So let's talk about jigs.
Yeah.
Colors. What's your favorite color?
I don't have a
What?
favorite.
You don't have a favorite color.
Well,
okay. If you're only allowed to fish for tomorrow.
Pink head, purple body.
Pink head, purple body.
Chartreuse head, purple body.
Okay.
And then clear water. Maybe I do a blue head with the purple body or something like that.
So pretty much I got purple body from you.
Yeah.
With 3 different head colors.
Favorite color.
So he has a favorite color. So next time I say, what's your favorite color? You can say purple body.
There you go.
Well, purple and black with the bright head.
Yeah, we do make that combo like that guy right there. That's a good one. That's a real good one.
That's
Chartreuse head.
Yeah.
Got a little extra material. What about you, Jordan? I already know what you're going to say. I already know what
I
you're going to say.
got my
and I
top
love it.
3: Nightmare, Disco, and Blurple.
Hey, side cam it.
Purple.
Sounds like all the rockers in a rock band.
Yeah. So
Nightmare,
that's Blair's
Blurple.
purple and black body with a chartreuse head. Yeah, blacks, blues. I don't have a true Nightmare in here. They're all gone.
Nobody does.
That
Yeah, no kidding. Way to go, Mustang. It's twitching season, but hey, never
We
mind.
don't have any
listen
jigs.
Don't listen to us. Awkward. What about that guy right there?
The Seahawk.
Is that a Seahawk? That's not a Seahawk. Seahawk has blue in it. That's a Seahawk. Isn't that your disco? Or is
I'm
it pink?
colorblind, dude. I'm talking to the wrong guy. You're right. It is.
Oh,
it is.
chartreuse pink. This is
That-
those are
No,
disco.
disco is white head, pearl head,
That blurple you guys
Pink and-
make,
pink and chartreuse.
blurple, is a slayer.
What's your favorite twitching jig color out there, guys? If you only could pick one, comment below. We might do another prize pack.
Oh,
I think
we
got
need to give away a lot of
I was just
stuff.
gonna say, we
We're
got
running
those
out of
line
time,
there.
too.
Yeah,
Let's do it
exactly.
right now. Let's do one.
What?
Let's
Where's
pick
that
2
at?
people, Clint.
You didn't tell us about that. Surprise.
Ooh, drum roll, please.
Yeah, let's just pick a participant to win a couple of our twitching
I
jigs
didn't
right
get
now,
that.
and then the rest of you guys
Deal.
tell us what color. So Clint, pick a winner. Quick, go. Pick a winner. Quarter ounce works great in the right water. John, I agree. Sometimes having a little lighter something fluttering works, but you just won 2 twitching jigs. If you email orders at addicted.fishing. And at addicted.fishing, guys, it is the time of year that you can buy them. Yes, unfortunately, we are out of nightmares, I believe.
Yeah, no, nightmares.
Yeah, so,
I
but
don't know what's on there, but
we do have a ton of other jig colors. Buy 3, get 1 free at addicted.fishing.
Looks like Marlon owes me a couple jigs.
Oh, did you go down there and buy twitching jigs? He tried to screw you out of those? Oh,
He
man.
didn't tell me about
That's
that.
Marlon for you. Yeah, I didn't tell him.
Well, it
about
didn't
no-
start back. It only started now.
it just started right now.
It just started.
You can't help your timings off.
Damn it.
Marlon, we going out to dinner afterwards on Blair? I mean, yeah, you know. Yes, sir. So buy 3, get 1 free, guys. Check it out, addicted.fishing. Get your twitching jigs. It is time, and we do have a lot of colors in stock, and we will be able to get those out to you like right away. So,
Read the discount code.
can you read the discount?
It's tail
code?
out, all caps.
At checkout.
Tail out.
And let's pick up
One
No,
more.
well, we gotta wait.
One more, Clint.
Well, one more just for because we still have another 2.
Oh,
to give
okay,
away
okay.
at the end.
One more winner,
Yeah.
too, just for the guys
We got a
out
little
there.
slack.
Get way up. Get way up.
We got a little
Oh,
slack.
jeez.
I can't.
Pick one.
I gotta do more randomizing.
Randomizer, randomizer. You're going way up there.
Oh man.
Oh, this guy. He says Clint. Nate Peters. Yeah, Nate Peterson. Nate Peterson, you won yourself a couple twitching jigs as well. If you
He's probably
email
gone.
your address to orders
Ooh,
Addicted
creamsicle.
dog fishing.
Creamsicle's a
A
sleeper.
couple hours ago.
You should leave
I don't
that.
think
Lesson
they make that
learned.
anymore.
Really?
Stay in
Really?
one.
Interesting. Do they make the other combo?
They don't make one of them, but they had them. Yeah. Creamsicles, orange.
Yeah. My orange.
Don't they make? They. Yeah. Right. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I knew it was something. Yeah.
That
All
drink
right,
was
never mind.
good. in Dirty water.
Bravo, mustard, bravo. Anyways, okay, moving on. So, Addicted Twitching Jig guys on the website, all colors. Let's see, let's scroll up and see what somebody people said for colors just to understand. I think that's not.
That wasn't it. That wasn't it.
That's funny. Chartreuse. Secret Series are great twitchers as well when they need to be. Dreamsicle, black. That's right. Keep going. Pink head, blue and purple body slays. Always. Purple body, black head. Yep. Yeah. Pink or black head, purple body. Yep. Seahawk is nice in some rain for sure. Yep. Seahawk works. Seahawk, disco, all those real bright ones. If you can find yourself a pot of fresh fish, they will they're just suicidal. They'll eat them. They get so pissed off at that bright color.
Some like colored water.
Yeah.
Stained water.
Yeah, something that they need. They're all sold out. No, they're not, Spencer.
Where I fish a lot, I have like 2 jigs in my box, 2 colors.
You're just so like 2-dimensional instead of 1-dimensional. I was gonna say 1-dimensional. You're a nightmare jig guy, aren't you?
No.
I
told you what.
Yeah, purple body, black and blue all
With
day.
the
clown.
bright head, they see it from a ways away. They come and eat it.
Anyone or any way you can get one in front of their face. I agree. Yep, black and chartreuse.
I think
orange
it's
head.
more. A lot of it's about how you're
Purple and purple.
how you're doing it.
Scent on jigs? Are you a scent
Angle
guy?
and dangle.
I'm not a scent guy. And you know what? I think that might be a place that I fall. I mean, for how ratty these jigs end up getting anyways, after fishing them a lot, I don't think...
Crabtree had good ideas, though, with the krill powder.
Yep.
He puts all of his jigs in his Ziploc bag, fills it with krill powder, and then when you're twitching them, you just have krill fucking coming off your jigs.
Yeah,
Good
so
idea.
yeah, taking the krill powder out of the Procure krill powder, adding it into Ziploc bags. So I don't know if you have a mic on. Yeah, so Kratzer, he'll take those and take a bunch of his jigs he's using and get them
His secret's out.
get that
Wow.
scent of krill. Oh, he did it right here. He did. Yeah.
But the thing about that,
I thought he put
and I have
something
seen
on
that
the
work on
jig
fish that are
head.
finicky. Like if you can't get them to
Strips of squid.
Potsky makes those gels, little tubs of gel, and I'll take some of the squid gel and put it on the head from time to time if
That
I'm
doesn't work.
really
Only
needing
Procure works.
a bite.
Marlon
the
said
last
only
time that we seen-
Procure works.
Yeah.
Well, so what you're saying? So what you're saying, though, I mean, a
I
little scent is probably not going to hurt you.
I don't want to put anything on the body of the jig, but if you
Yeah,
have some
yeah.
kind of gel, you can put it on the jig head.
Like a super
Yeah.
gel?
You can use water soluble
Like-
fibers.
Like a
So
super gel.
true.
Yeah, Procure makes a water soluble that's a superior product than anything else out there. You can put
Don't come in here talking
freaking sell out.
Yeah.
What a sellout.
No, that
No, you were talking about
There's a
Kratzer.
lot. I know.
Kratzer is a
funny.
Potsky guy.
It is funny. I know. That's the one thing I have a hold against him too. That's why do you think he's not here tonight?
Yeah.
No, he's not around, which really sucks. But Jared Higginbottom says wrapping jigs with sand shrimp and hover fishing them works. Ooh, little strips of squid work. If you guys can add a little scent to your jigs, it probably is not going to hurt you. As long as you're not ruining like the material. Our material doesn't
But
ruin. Our
none of
material
us-
doesn't cake.
None of us here do.
I don't either. I'm a lazy fisherman. It's probably, like Jordan said, probably to a fault.
You can, but we don't.
Did you put all that scent on last night? Did it help you?
No.
He was reeling in, remember?
I just started casting and reeling.
It's these sensor. They're used for different applications. Twitches.
Yeah, the thing is, like,
It's a reaction.
It's a reaction bite versus an inquisitive bite. And I think, like, when you're hover fishing eggs and you're doing that, like, that is all it is. It's scent. Bait's right there. Fish goes up, sees it. You want to get a reaction out of these fish.
If you're sitting there pounding on the same group of fish and they haven't bit you for 2 hours, it wouldn't hurt to try some sand.
Yeah, but they probably wouldn't.
Or a couple corkies below your treble hook.
All right. Yeah, go. You need a 12-foot leader and a black corky and about a 7-inch riffle. Anyways, okay. How do you keep your jigs from getting all dreaded up? Put them in one of these little boxes with a little foam board. Keeps all of them cleaned up. Comb them out. There you go.
Yeah, a typical tackle box does not do well with jigs.
Yeah, it's really.
Have any make. Everything turns into a ball.
I can't believe you keep everything so neat and tidy.
Dude, I'm like way
without
too
much
OCD
fish.
on that stuff. Yeah. But underneath here, I got another jig we need to talk about real quick because.
If you combed them, what type of comb is it? Dog comb?
Just a comb. Just anything you got.
Just a pick?
Oh.
That one seems specific that he had.
Yeah.
Like a comb I might
No, I think it was a dog comb. I think
That's
it
what
was
I'm
a dog
asking.
comb.
It's a dog.
Just a
There's
comb.
not
I don't
comb my hair or
freaking
something
know.
like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, if your jig's
Comb
getting
your hair.
matted up, one thing about our material versus a lot of other material is that these will, you can kind of clean them up, honestly. You can catch 10 fish on them and then be able to rake them out so they won't get matted up and they won't get damaged. It's one thing nice about our material versus a lot of the other materials. So.
Trim, no trim?
I will trim certain ones, and because the whole point of a twitching jig is to have it fall. But you also want to have a little bit of body, or else you might as well just throw a pink worm on a jig head and throw it out there, which probably works in some cases.
That's almost perfect.
But, that one? But yeah, I do carry a little pair of scissors in there, and sometimes if I have a really thick coat, I'll trim it. What was that? That was wild. Trim them up. Also, we've got one other thing to talk about, because you guys can also throw like hoochie jigs, plastic jigs, which is what I was just going to kind of show there. And we don't have too much time to talk about those tonight, but you guys can definitely go and play around, putting plastics on jig heads, hoochies with little egg weights in the heads and worm weights in the heads also work really well. And I like this white one from when the water's really high and muddy.
The addicted one is a sleeper. Or excuse me, the mustad one. The mustad addicted hoochie jig is a total sleeper. There's times a year, especially right now, when you don't see anybody else throwing a hoochie. If you go to the river, I'll say this, you go to the river, you see everybody throwing a wiggler, usually you want to go with a hoochie. Or something of the sorts. Something that's going to be very sporadic and fast. And that black and purple hoochie, I swear, is one of my very favorites.
It's also a different action.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It darts a little
Oh,
bit
you mean that
more.
one exactly
That exact
right
one.
then?
Yeah. And this is a 1 ounce, 3/4.
I think that's a 3/4. What I'm saying is, guys, is even though we do sell you guys as twitching jigs, be sure to check out the hoochie jigs and fish them, because, like I said, the action on the hoochie jigs, when they fall, they don't tend to fall straight up and down. If I get a client in the boat that's not really getting the twitching thing down, they're kind of just moving the bait around. A lot of times I'll give them the hoochie jig, because this will kind of have its own action as it falls and kind of erratic action, and it will get bit a lot.
Yeah.
Something to think about. So.
Is that why I always get the hoochie
So
jig?
if you're in Cameron's
Yeah,
boat,
so
you
you're
get
that
the
guy.
hoochie jig.
Well, I can tell you right now,
You
though,
know
half
why.
the time on my rod, I'll throw the hoochie jig, because guys will get in the boat and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm supposed to throw we're supposed to be like twitching with a twitching jig." It's like, all right, I'll throw the hoochie jig. I don't care.
I've seen you do some damage with it.
Hoochie jigs. Did you throw hoochie jig last night?
No.
That would
Where?
Uh,
Ay, ay, ay. Something different. All those fish have seen a million addicted twitching jigs. You know.
messed up.
Pays to be different, guys. All right. Anything else?
One more giveaway.
One more giveaway.
One more pick.
One more pick, and we're going to wrap it up. Any other questions? Blair, real fast, you've got some spots open for October, and you said you had a couple days open, too.
Yeah, we and Marlon were talking about the schedule. I'm going to try to guide next Monday or Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday. So
like,
if anybody,
5 days from now.
Yeah, so if anybody could sneak out, we should get some rain by then, and if not, there's quite a few fish around in other rivers that don't need rain. So
got some opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have some weekdays left, and fishing has been pretty good. So
yeah.
It's only going to get better.
And it's just going to get more folly every day. It's just going to get, if you sleep in, you're going to feel like a big old POS. I hate this time of year. I get such bad anxiety.
get
Too much to do.
FOMO,
Yeah.
afraid of
You
missing
go
out.
fishing, you should have went to this river. You go hunting, you should have went fishing. You go fishing, you should have went hunting. Like
There is a lot to do, guys. But one thing about like where the three of us are fishing too, like I think as we get further into October and in early November, it should even actually just get better and better.
Crazy
So
good fishing.
look up Blair at BGS. Look up Jordan on Instagram.
Whatever.
You know,
Whatever.
you can find Jordan. It's probably not too hard. And get out there and do some.
He's
fishing.
Jordan's gonna be super limited, guys. So if you want to fish with him, you better hit him up.
Yep.
Well, Monday,
And
Tuesday.
a lot of these guys they get booked out. So get your trips in.
Twitching is very popular, and when it hits, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
It's really
Okay,
fun.
one more, please. You're getting a 1 ounce here and a 3/4.
Okay, I got one more thing I gotta go through here.
Okay, I'm gonna go over this one.
There's your winner.
Oh, we got a winner. Andrew Todd said 49er. Well, Andrew Todd.
Shoot us an email to orders@addicted.fishing. Include your name, your address. Let us know that you won the twitching jigs. You guys, each person that won these prize packs tonight, they're just going to get 2 random colors or 2 random
we
jigs.
don't know who's what.
We don't know what's what, but you're going to get 2 addicted twitching jigs. So we'll make it happen.
Making it rain in here.
Making it rain twitching jigs. So, cool product I want to show you guys. One of the addicted dudes in the addicted community, he makes these now. If any of you guys have
Do you know what it is?
Fulby rod holders and you have slip discs in there that you get super annoyed with that you can never get tight enough, he created this little wrench to get onto your Fulby or get onto your Scotty mounts and actually crank that thing down and never have an issue with your stuff slipping anymore. Do you have any information on these, Clint?
Yeah, so he's doing a giveaway, and the only way to find him right now, he doesn't have a web. Oh, I don't have a link. Go to the Fish SOS
I can
on
repeat.
Facebook.
Yeah, so if you guys go to Fish, if you guys are interested in purchasing these, I got a couple of these for my boat. All of us really got them. If you have, it's hard because they need to know what the slip disc is and need to know what the Fulby is. But
what we're after, guys, is the rod holders that we use to position, like basically for 360 fishing when we're using a lot of
Really
heavy
any
leads
trolling.
for any trolling, but really it shows in the 360 from the legs and we're using how fast we're pulling on the gear. We use slip discs to position your rods, and because if you're not paying attention to the angle and the position of your rods when you're 360 fishing, let's just say it's something you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave that alone. But we use slip discs so we can exactly position rods to have the right flex and the right angle, whether that's in the back of the boat, the front of the boat. So we use these slip discs that don't have any teeth in them, and it's only squashed by tension. And the rod holder can move a little bit. And if you don't get them tight enough, just a bite or something will drop the rod holder,
Yep.
and you have to keep adjusting them. You either use like a pair of giant channel locks. To
yeah, people are
tighten it.
using pipe
But
wrenches
no,
or
this
channel
little
locks.
guy
Or
is absolutely mint. Put it in there, tighten it up. There's the slip discs that we use for the Fulby rod holders. But any guy's trolling, whether you're trolling downriggers, Puget Sound, anything like that, this little tool for tightening up those handles, absolutely.
And Scotty
Smart.
Scotty has the same thing too.
Do they have a slip disc now too?
Well, those are
are
Scotty.
yeah, we
Scotty
only
slip
use
discs.
Scotty slip
Well,
discs.
he has another.
No,
The
for the
other-
star. Yeah, yeah. He's got one that will work, that will fit for the Fulby star, and the other one will fit for the Scotty star.
Yes.
So depending on which nut you use or which handle you use,
Yeah.
you've got one on each side. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we're going to randomly pick someone to get this tonight, but he gave us a couple. Again, he's just a big addicted supporter, big addicted fan, follower, and so we thought, why not show his product on the live feed? So here we go. Fish SOS on Facebook, guys, if you guys want to check it out. Pretty cool little nifty product.
Yeah.
Pick someone, Clint. Let's give it away. Hopefully someone who has these in their boats and wants one of these. How about that? Comment.
Million comments.
No problem, Adam. Cool product, man.
That's the guy too. So find him. Find Adam on Facebook.
Or just find Fish SOS on Facebook and you'll find it.
So there's lots of comments coming in. We'll give it just a sec. Anything else to talk about while instead of
Yeah, the one thing I told you. I need my phone though. Yeah. Do you have that info that I sent you?
Did you email it?
Yeah, I forwarded you the emails. I told you that.
I will.
Our producer. Yeah, Jared, if you're using the slip discs, you're crazy not to. You probably just use your bare paws and just tighten them up, but, you know, for us weaker folk.
And you don't have to rip your brand new stuff up anymore.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you look at every single one of the ones on mine is just chewed to shit from channel locks.
So are mine.
They're just ruined. So, one last quick announcement, guys. So, this year, during the holidays and basically through this entire fourth quarter, Addicted's going to be doing a lot of stuff to try to give back to the fishing community and give back as many ways that we can. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is we are partnering with Stevens Marine on basically, it's a big giveaway that they do. So they gather up all this stuff and they put together these shoe boxes, you know, whether it's got pencils in it or notepads or shoes or towels or bars of soap, basically all these different items that you and I basically have access to on a regular basis every day. And what they do, and last year I think they did 350 boxes or 450 boxes. Here you go. It's get involved. It's basically Operation Christmas Child. But what they do is they put these boxes together and they ship them all over the world to basically people that have like never even seen a bar of soap or never owned a pair of shoes in their entire lives. And so both Stevens Marine location at the Tiger location and Milwaukee location, they have big drums where you can bring stuff in and donate. And so if any of you addicts can please help support this, bring stuff to Stevens Marine. You can donate whatever. It can be shoes, it can be pencils, it can be whatever you think someone that basically is living in a country like that wouldn't have access to. We want to try to get them access to it. And so I think the goal this year is to do 750 boxes is their goal. So we're going to join in. They have an event that we're going to try to go to and actually help pack the boxes and everything. But we're going to be involved in this, guys, and we want to try to give back as much as we can during this holiday season and during this fourth quarter. So we have some other cool stuff planned to help addicted families out this year like we've done in the past as well. But this is just another little extra thing that we wanted to bring awareness to. Yep, start of the season. So we'll be talking more about it. We're probably going to put some links on our website, share it on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But this is kind of our first initial little promo of it. So
I just realized this gives Mike an excuse to put up Christmas decorations now by saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he wants to put them up like right now.
You should see his car already. It's like decked out Halloween.
There you go.
You want me to do that video or no?
What video?
You sent me like a video. It's like a video.
Show it, yeah. Let's show it real quick.
Movie or something. So
I think this is them packing the boxes.
let's see if this works.
It looks like main camera's off.
Yeah,
there we go.
I know,
We're good.
I just got that cut.
Okay, guys. Anyway, we just wanted to bring awareness to that. Be on the lookout. We're going to try to bring up a bunch of more awareness to that, and we're going to have more links and show you where you can. But right now, if you want to donate right now or anywhere in the next few months, just head to either Stevens Marine location, and they have little, basically barrels that you can bring stuff in and donate. So, huge shout out to Stevens Marine. We're excited to be a part of this thing and try to help out as much as we can. And yeah, I think that's all I got. What do you got? Anything?
I just got Jared's text and perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely perfect.
Exactly, Jared. Cool, guys. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate you every single week. We're trying to do these live feeds, get them better and better for you. We're working on a lot of cool stuff. Next week, we potentially won't have a live feed unless me and Cameron have a dead elk on the ground. Then if we have a dead elk on the ground and we're in service, we're going live and showing you.
That's right. It'll be addicted hunting for 1 week out of the year.
Cameron and I will be elk hunting next week, so we will not be doing the live feed. We talked to Clint. There may be something a little special, roast of addicted or giveaway live feed. We don't know. But as of right now, me and Cam won't be here. If Clint's live, you never know. We may see what happens.
Lord knows what will happen in this studio.
Exactly. Exactly. Dude, you should do a live where you bring our haters in. You should start emailing a bunch of our haters and bring them on. That'd be kind of funny. No?
What was you thinking for watching?
Yeah, exactly. We know you're watching right now, so if you guys want to come into our live feed, haters.
Come on
Yeah.
now.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Appreciate it. Don't forget, hit up Blair, hit up Jordan. Get out and catch some of these coho. It's going to be good fishing this year.
Clunt roast next week.
Ooh, yeah. I like